The young men who were here at the time, probably for no other reason than they were bored, needed something to protest, and they walked out of the building.
The co-ed, better dead than co-ed, better dead than co-ed, better dead than co-ed, better dead than co-ed, better co-ed, better dead than co-ed, better dead than co-ed, better dead than co-ed.
You are witnessing is raw and real footage from 1991 when Walsh Jesuit informed its students that it would be going co-ed the following school year. Hello, I am famous Walsh Jesuit personality Robbie Kramer, and today I'm going to take you on a journey as we explore the history of Walsh Jesuit going co-ed. Today I've sat down with longtime math teacher and current assistant principal Mrs. Rafferty, who also taught my dad, interesting fact, my godfather and current member of the board, Rob Scherler, class of 1986, and Mrs. Bacchetti, who is currently a theology teacher here at Walsh and was a graduate of the first ever co-ed class, 1997. How did you come to find out that Walsh was going co-ed?
I remember sitting in the library with all the faculty, and Tom Mouche was president of the Board of Trustees. I happened to go to grade school with him. Anyway, I digress. And said the reason we were going co-ed was justice for women.
What was the faculty's reaction to this stunning revelation?
I don't think they honestly believed it was justice for women. I know I thought it was more a financial move to strengthen the school.
And what was your reaction to all this?
And I was in favor of young women being able to receive a Jesuit education in high school.
Well, it was a surprise when they decided to go co-ed. I'm not sure that many people had an advance warning, and all of a sudden the school made the announcement.
How did the alumni feel about the decision?
I think at the time they were also maybe disappointed just because of change, and they also thought, they relived their glory days of Walsh and how much they had a great time at Walsh and how the friends and how all of a sudden there's going to be a change now bringing in the girls to the school.
Alas, the fall of 1993 came, and with it, females entered into Walsh Jesuit High School. A new chapter and day had begun at Walsh Jesuit, and the faculty were more than ready to embrace it. Though our male students realized that they'd have to watch what they say a bit more and not pass gas whenever they felt like it. The joke around school was actually that the hallway smelt much better because girls wore perfume and boys started to shower. A few of the faculty were even frightened of teaching girls, for they had only taught guys their whole career. Though now that girls were allowed into school, how did they perform? Were there any worries with their inclusion?
I know one of the things the board was worried about with the young women coming in was how they would do in math and science. Baloney. In the years that they've been here, they have earned at least half, if not more, of the Math and Science Award at Senior Awards Night every year. So they're fine.
I'm so nervous that girls and boys would be holding hands or hugging or kissing in the hallway. And so there was a no PDA, no public display of affection. I know I haven't heard any of that this year as a new teacher.
When you heard that Walsh was going to become co-ed, what made you decide you wanted to go there?
Actually, I didn't want to come to Walsh when I first heard that it was going co-ed. My mom knew of the Jesuits and the strong, excellence in education, and so she suggested I look at it. And I shadowed a freshman. His name was Matt Lehman. Played soccer, and I loved the school. Everybody was so friendly and so welcoming, and I just loved the environment. And so ever since then, I had decided that this is where I wanted to be.
Your freshman class was 55% male, 45% female. Did you ever feel uncomfortable being in a mostly male environment?
I tried out for volleyball, and Miss Stern was my coach, and we were doing a scrimmage in the dome, and it was when the football players had two-a-day practices, and we knew they would be coming in during the scrimmage. And so the girls, our team was just really nervous, and we weren't sure, because this is before school had begun in the summer, and we were really nervous that they were going to be teasing us and shouting at us and wanting us to leave, and we're in their gym, and I just always think back to this moment. It was so iconic. They all sat in the stands and they cheered for us. And I'm pretty sure Mr. Lynch was part of that group because he was a senior when I was a freshman and he played football. And that was really, I never had a negative experience. I never got looks from anybody. It was all positive.
Even though there were now girls around school, did you feel that there was still, in a sense, that old male, all guys mentality was still left around?
You definitely could tell that the school was, had a lot of traditions that were all male, and that they would not be in a co-ed school or would not be in an all-girls school. I remember Mr. Hassenstop, he was the dean of students. Every Friday, he would come on the announcements at the end of the day, and his big tagline was "Don't dirty the W," and that kind of became like, represent your school. But the "Don't dirty the W," I think, was something that kind of carried over. Then when we would have like pep rallies, or it would be maybe like on a Friday or Saturday, before a football game or something, we would meet outside in the back of the parking lot, and there would be a car that we would smash and then they would set on fire. Like, it was just like, that would never happen today. But that was something that was an annual tradition that they did.
Well, now time for the ultimate question. Was the decision to go co-ed ultimately a good decision?
Well, the addition of girls, it's just been a positive change. The school's more inclusive. The girls have added just so much more to the school. And so it's really, I think looking back, it's the right decision. And maybe you could say it should have been made even years prior to when it was made.
But now when I look back at it, and I'm still friends with, a lot of the kids from my class, I do see us kind of as pioneers. I didn't at the time, but I kind of do now, just because we didn't know what to expect.
But at a certain point, I think we would sit back and say, wow, it would have been great to have girls at the school. It just added a little different element to the school. I'm very grateful that the school is co-ed. I have a daughter and son that they can share the same school together. My daughter gets to enjoy the whole Walsh experience. And so it's great. Our family's very blessed to have a school like Walsh for both of our kids to attend.
This is a great place, whether it's all men or co-ed, and just giving as many students as possible the opportunity to be educated by the Jesuits. When I was in high school, I didn't have that.
Walking around the halls today, it's hard to imagine that there was once a time when girls weren't allowed in the schools and it was controversial. However, in the nearly 30 years since this landmark, it's become very obvious that it was the right decision. Going co-ed allowed Walsh to have a bigger and brighter future in tomorrow, and ultimately allowed them to be men and women for and with others. Thank you, and have a wonderful night.